Morning. Let's start today's Maitri Milan with 3 rounds of Omkara. पंचांगम अद्यतन पंचांगम पंचविंशत्यधिक-एकशतोत्तर पंचसहस्रतमगली कलियुगाब्दः श्री शोभकृत् नाम संवत्सरः उत्तरायणं ग्रीष्म ऋतुः ज्येष्ठमासः शुक्लपक्षः त्रयोदशी तिथिः स्वाति नक्षत्रं परिधयोगः तैतिलकरणं भार्गववासरः. Today's date 2nd June 2023 Friday. तिथिश्च श्रियमाप्नोति वारायुष्यवर्धनम् नक्षत्राधरते पापं योगाद्रोगनिवारणं करणात् कार्यसिद्धिश्च पंचांगफलमुत्तमम्. सर्वेषां शुभमस्तु. श्लोका from Gita, chapter 10, shloka 6. महर्षयः सप्त पूर्वे चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मद्भावा 7 great sages, the 4 great saints before them, and the 14th Manu are all born from mine. From them, all the people in the world have descended.
Suprabhatam, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today's shloka, first we will see the word split. Maharshayaha, Sapta, Purve, Chatvaraha, Manavaha, Tatha, Madbhavaha, Manasaha, Jataha, Yesham, Loke, Imaha, Prajaha. So we are in the 10th chapter, as you are aware, in the Vibhuti Yoga. So the Vibhutis of Bhagavan is being expressed. In the preceding couple of shlokas, we have seen that Ahimsa, Samata, Tushtihi, Tapo, Danam, Yesho, Yashaha, Bhavanti, Bhava, Bhutana, various attitudes and aptitudes internally that human beings have. Noble attitudes, Ahimsa, Samata, all these wonderful qualities, they are also the manifestations of the indwelling pure consciousness, Satchidananda Swarupa Bhagavan. In the macrocosm also, in this shloka that is indicated, all that is wonderful, all that is systematic, all that is great, that is also manifest from the Bhagavan. Of course, the details of which will be explained in due course after some 15-16 shlokas, whereas here the sutra form, in sutra form, all this is being indicated. Now, so here Maharshayaha, Rishi, the great sages, seers, Rishihi Drashta, Rishir Darshanat. That's how in Shastra the word Rishi is defined, the visionary, the one who can not merely see what is there before the eye, the one who can see beyond. He is Rishi. We have Maharshi, a great Rishi, who can see further, deeper into the destiny of human life and the entire cosmos. So he is Maharshi. And in Rishis also we see in Shastra that there are various levels. Rishi, Rajarishi, Deva Rishi, Brahma Rishi, all these categories exist. So how much that is as indicated in Yoga Sutra, Sarvajna Bija. As the Sarvajna Bija means the omniscience, the seed of omniscience, as it slowly sprouts, the various level of Rishi stages are attained. So Maharshaya, the great Rishis who knew everything, Sapta, 7 great Maharshis are there. There are various versions of Sapta Maharshis. We have one Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Pulastya, Kratu, Vasishtha. This is one set of Sapta Rishis. There are various such lists of Sapta Rishis in various aeons. So Maharshayaha Sapta, whoever they may be, the 7 revered souls who see everything. And we also see that from among the 7 Rishis only a child descended. And that child is none other than Swami Vivekananda. So in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's life, we see that also, that vision Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had about Swami Vivekananda. So, and you see what transformative global touch Swami Vivekananda could give. So that is the potential of a Rishi when he descends and he transforms the entire universe by his presence and his dynamic actions. So such is the greatness of a Rishi. So Maharshayaha Sapta Purve means they were very ancient entities and they still exist. So, and Chatvaraha Manavaha Tatha. So all Chatvaraha Manavaha Tatha. There are 2 ways of seeing it. We can see it as a noun and adjective. Manus, Chatvaraha Manavaha. The 4 Manus. It can be taken as that way. Or Chatvaraha is an independent word and Manavaha, Manus can be taken as an independent word. Whereas Acharya Shankara says Chatvaraha Savarnaha. There are 14 Manus. Swayambhuva, Swarochisha, Tamasa, Raivata, Savarna, Rudra Savarna, Brahma Savarna and so on and so forth. All those Manus who go by the name Savarna, Rudra Savarna, Brahma Savarna, merely Savarna, they are indicated as the Chatvaraha Manavaha. This is one interpretation according to Acharya Shankara. there is another interpretation, the four. Who are the four? Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatkumara and Sanatana. The four Manasa Putras of Brahma. Initially in Gita Bhashya, we see those four Manasa Putras were created, and Brahmadeva had a hope that they will carry on the creation further. But they said, no, we are endowed with great sense of Vairagya. We are going to be established in Jnana and Tapas. So we are not going to take the responsibility. So then again, Brahma was again given had to do someone who would take up the responsibility of the universe. Then Marichya Agre Srishtva Prajapatin. So those Prajapatis, Manus, who are 14 in number, were created. So Madhava, all these have my touch, my presence in them, be it the Rishis, be it the four Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatkumara, Sanatana, the Brahma Manasa Putras, or the Manus. So all of them, Madhavaha, Manasaha Jataha, from my mental tapas, Yasya Jnanamayam Tapaha, from my tapas which is full of knowledge, they emerged. Yesham Loke Imah Prajaha. So it is these people, the Rishis, the Brahmaputras, the four Brahmaputras, and also the 14 Manus. They are the ones who own this universe, who govern this universe, who guide this universe. In this Imaha Prajaha, we the people, we live. Now, this is the plain, simple, direct meaning. So, these great, one meaning is, yes, these great personalities whom we revere, respect in our tradition, be it the Rishis, be it the Manus, be it the four Manasaputras, they also have emerged from Brahman. So, that is one idea, but when we look at what is the core of a Rishi, what is the core of a Manu, what is the core of a Brahmaputra, Sanaka Sanandana, we can see three interesting ideas which are guidelines to leading our life, which direction as youth you may be thinking which direction I should take. These three are the three paths that are lying before us as given to us by our Sanatana Dharma. One is the path of pravritti. Pravritti is taking responsibility, just like the Manus, 14 Manus who took the responsibility and established the rules and regulations and governed and established the norms of a Dharma Rajya. So, Yadvai Manu Rabadat Tad Bheshajam, that is the Vedas themselves glorify the Manus. Whatever the Manus have expressed out of their wisdom, that is a medicine, Tad Bheshajam. So, they have mastered public administration to such a great extent that in their kingdom, na raja, na rajyam, na rajasi, na dandyaha, na dandikaha, dharmenaiva prajas sarvaha rakshanti sma parasparam. In their kingdom, there was no one who was governing, no one was governed, no punishment, no punisher, no enforcer of punishment. By dharma, everything was managed. So they could inspire people to take up the path of dharma, that is pravritti marga, governed by dharma. Even in the Raghuvamsha we see how Manus ruled. Prajanam vinaya dhana rakshana bharanadapi sa pita pitarastasam kevalam janma hetava. How a king ruled the country, he took care of each of the subject, he imparted knowledge, he protected them and also fed them. Who does all these things? Who gives education? Who feeds? Who protects? Normally a father. So all that the father did, the king himself did, so their parents were merely biological factors of existence of those subjects. The real parents were the king and the queen. So that is how a Manu ruled. He took up responsibility and executed to a great extent with great perfection and devotion in the path of dharma. So this is pravritti marga which lays before us. We can take up this pravritti marga. And then chatvaraha, which is nivritti marga. Manasa putras of Brahma, they are so much dedicated to renunciation. It is pure renunciation. It is not renunciation just for showing to others. A total, complete renunciation. Such a renunciation endowed with great knowledge, all-encompassing knowledge. When Shuka Maharshi, one such great realized soul, when he went out of his house, yam pravrajantam anupetam apeta krityam, द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवो अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि. When Shuka Maharshi went out of his house in search of in just meeting people and sharing the knowledge of Brahman, Vyasa the father was crying out for him, "Oh Shuka, you are leaving and going." Then Shuka did not turn back. It is the trees which responded, "Oh father, I take leave of you." Means he had become one with the plants, one with the trees, one with the animals, one with the insects, everything outside. So such a level of renunciation, and completely he became one with the creation. So as pravritti is epitomized by the Manus, nivritti is epitomized by the Manasaputras. And then we have something in between, the rishis, who contain both pravritti and nivritti. They were always available for the society to guide them, but they are secluded and they did their tapas and sadhana. We have an example in the Raghuvamsha where we see when the king Dilipa did not have progeny, he did not have the knowledge, why I did not have a progeny. So he went to Vasisthashrama. So rishis are the ones who stay close by but don't get immersed. So as Swami Vivekananda would put, renunciation and service. If service is epitomized by Manus, renunciation is epitomized by the four Manasaputras, and rishis epitomize both renunciation and service. That is the need of the hour. So in this manner we can see very many great ideals very subtly indicated in the Bhagavad Gita shloka for us, if we mind to sit, reflect and understand the depths of meaning that it is ready to offer us.
Let's end the session today with Shanti Mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhabhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I request Dr. Ali Gurmaster to host the